What's up, guys? Jay, MorninAfterKill, and I'm back here with some more Destiny news and information. And just in case you've been living under a rock for the past 30 days, or maybe you had your ass glued to the cushion playing Overwatch, which, I mean, let's be real, it's pretty much the same goddamn thing. But Bungie has pushed a brand new update to the Derp City universe live yesterday, and it's an update that's brought some major changes to the Hunter subclasses in both how they're gonna be built and played in the next upcoming months. And you know, even though some things got nerfed, some things got buffed, in the long run, these changes have been mostly positive. You know, since things like the Golden Gun and Arcblade both were buffed and have been severely lacking in the damage department for the past 2 years. And you know, for a class like the Hunter, which is centered around being fast, agile, and doing a lot of burst damage to get you out of situations when your armor just won't hold, it's pretty damn important that the glass cannons have the power to do that, or else you're just gonna be a fast class made of glass. Bars, son. Bars. But with that said, today we're gonna be focusing on the changes made to the Hunter's Nightstalker subclass. It's a class that's actually ass backwards from what I just described the typical Hunter subclass and role being in the game. The Nightstalker is more centered around being a team player, controlling large packs of enemies, creating orbs, and even de facto team medic with their fast recharging smoke grenade and invisibility talents. So there hasn't been much change to the actual supercharge, since it's probably the most balanced supercharge in the game. The only change that was made is now in PvP, when your tether makes impact on a surface, it immediately suppresses the enemy's supercharge, allowing you to win more one-on-one confrontations. Because previously, when you would hit an enemy with your tether, it would take a few seconds to knock them out of their supercharge. So, you know, when you got a Fire Banging Titan or a Stormcaller coming around the corner and you hit your tether on the ground, it deploys, and boom, you just got hit with a flaming hammer to the fucking face. All before your supercharge even had a chance to suppress the enemy's super. So, you know, that's probably the only change that anybody in the game can rightfully ask for the Nightstalker's Shadowshot, and thankfully, it got it. Golf clap, Bungie. Now, surprisingly, none of the Nightstalker's actual grenades have been nerfed. It's making it the only class this update that the Hunter has to squeak past that Bungie chopping block without having any of the extra fat trimmed off the edges. In fact, the Nightstalker's spike grenade, you know, the one that looks like the purple Kamehameha, was changed slightly by reducing the damage impulses per second from 10 to 5, but they increased the damage impulse per second 100%. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a second or two to think about this, because mathematically the damage output is gonna be the same on paper, right? They reduced the damage ticks from 10 to 5, but they increased the damage per tick. And after using it, it seems like it might have brought the time to kill on this grenade up just a little bit faster, making it harder for enemies to escape its blast, which it definitely needed for show. But, I mean, I really wish that they would make the beam fan out just a little bit wider and maybe further for some more crowd controller capabilities, because I really do love this grenade. It's just still slightly undershadowed compared to the other ones in the class. But the biggest hit that the Nightstalker is gonna take in this update is sadly to the smoke grenades. Oh my god, the wombo combo. It's a scourge of the Crucible for the last bunch of months, hasn't it been? It really has been. But the smoke grenades have had their initial impact damage decreased by a whopping 34%. Which kind of really fucks with ODD, man. Why's it gotta be 34%? You couldn't just put the extra 1% on there and made it an even 35% budgie. God damn it. I'm pretty sure somewhere in the coding and the math there, that 34% makes fucking sense, but just seeing that 34% does not make me happy at all. But yes, the initial impact damage was decreased by 34%. The initial duration was decreased by 1 second, as well as the jump suppression was removed from the Envenom's Talent perk status effect, and Vanish's hidden +1 agility bonus has been removed from the perk altogether. Now, nothing here's a really big deal in the long run, right? Having a perk like Envenomed do dot damage and suppress jumps was a little bit annoying, and now it gives you a little bit more of a clear-cut choice between either poisoning the enemy with Envenomed or trapping them with your snare. Now, I like snare myself, since even if you miss the snare, it's still deployed somewhere on the battlefield and could come in handy in the next upcoming seconds if an enemy tries to make it away from you and they accidentally run over your fucking snare. Or in game modes like Trials of Osiris, tossing a snare on an enemy's orbs makes it really easy to kill both players when they go for a res, since neither of them can run or jump after the res. They're pretty much just sitting ducks, especially if you dump a grenade right on top of them after they res them. Just boop, grenade, y'all motherfuckers ain't going nowhere. Pretty fucking hilarious. Now, as for the actual perks that's been changed, Courage of the Pack now increases recovery, armor, and agility by +2 per stacks, and stacks up to 3 times. Lockdown now increases your smoke duration by +2 seconds, with Snare gaining an additional +2 seconds on top of that +2 seconds that's been added. Now, Shadestep took the biggest hit on the entire subclass skill tree, no longer allowing you to Shadestep multiple times in a row. The perk now only allows you to dodge once every 3 seconds. I know a lot of people are gonna be super bummed about that, but Shadestep has pretty much become a crutch for a lot of players, since it pretty much allows you to make up for mistakes that you made in game, and while you're making up for that mistake, you can locate your enemy and come up with a counterattack all at the same time while moving very erratically. Essentially, not just becoming difficult to fight against, but frustrating for other players. And you know, I actually had a chance to play with Shadestep a little bit in the footage that you're seeing on the screen right now, and I gotta say, it's still a super useful perk in the time of need. And you know, Keen Scout and the Graviton Forfeit will still be the most popular loadout for Nightstalker hunters going forward. Please believe that. Nothing is gonna change about that. Just the amount of time people are gonna be Shadestepping in a row. And I was about to say last but not least, but this is last. And this is very much the least used perk in the Nightstalker's skill tree. The Predator perk will now reduce the overall cooldown of the Shadowshot ability, but you know, like I said, given how commonly used and how useful perks like Shadestep and Keen Scout are, it's gonna take a lot more than that to ask Guardians to give up the utility that you gain from Keen Scout or the mobility that you gain from Shadestep. It's just not gonna happen. for show. So, my name is Jay. What an afterkill. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you can leave a thumbs up on a bitch, I'd highly appreciate it because it gives me motivation to make more videos for you motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. Tell me in the comment section down below. What do you think about the changes to all 3 hunter subclasses now that we've gone over them completely? Do you agree with them? Or are there some things that just left you wondering, what the hell were they thinking? Because honestly, I feel like pretty much everything here is on the money. The only head scratcher to me is the gunslinger's throwing knife damage being brought down a little bit. Like, what? Everything else seems to be explainable with logic and reason, but the throwing knife, I honestly have no clue where the fuck that came from or who proposed that idea, but it was terrible. Terrible for show. So, my name's Jay. What an afterkill. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys later.